Hello, we begin with some breaking news, and the Libyan warlord Khalifa Haftar has announced his bid for next month's presidential race. He stepped down from his military role in September, paving the way to run for the presidency. Haftar headed the eastern-based Libyan National Army and waged war against the internationally recognized government. Our Libya correspondent Malik Traina is joining us here in Doha. So there were reports that this could possibly happen, and now it has. So is this a surprise?
It's not a surprise. I mean, when we saw Haftar resign from his position in September, the expectation was that he was preparing himself to announce his candidacy. So no surprise here at the moment.
And Malik, important to note that he is wanted for war crimes, is he not?
Well, he's definitely he's not wanted for war crimes, but he's definitely accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
So, but in Libya, he is in the Tripoli courts. He is accused of war crimes, and they have a warrant out on his arrest. But he controls eastern Libya, and the Western government can't really apply their power. The internationally recognized government apply their power in eastern Libya. So he's been, free to continue on in his position in eastern Libya.
So what you're saying is his support base then is in eastern Libya. What about across the country? How much support would he have for his candidacy?
Well, Haftar launched a military campaign on Tripoli in 2019, in April 2019. And for 14 months, his forces pounded the capital. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced. Hundreds of thousands of homes were destroyed. And so in Western Libya, he doesn't have much support. But in eastern Libya, he does have a support base there.
Where are we in the process of the upcoming elections in December? We now have Haftar, who's announced his candidacy. Just a few days ago, we also heard that Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, the son of Muammar Gaddafi, announced his candidacy. So what happens next in this process?
Well, so there's supposed to be a constitutional framework so right at the moment, there's two legislative sides in Libya, rival sides, one in eastern Libya and one in western Libya. According to a previous agreement, they're supposed to come up with a constitutional framework to hold elections. That hasn't happened yet. And what that means is who can run for elections? What kind of power does a president even have? So those remain to be, they're still not agreed upon. And, in western Libya yesterday, we saw people protesting in front of the election office saying that, having presidential elections without a constitution is paving the way to bring back a totalitarian rule to Libya, threatening the future democracy.
So how likely is it that these elections actually take place as scheduled?
To be honest, nobody knows. I mean, we can say that we think that they are going to go on. There's a lot of international pressure on the various Libyan parties for them to hold the elections as scheduled. But now, as we saw with Saif al-Islam and now with Haftar, we're going to see a lot of tension happen, a lot of political divisions, and we're going to see people on the ground say that these elections, without a constitutional framework, without the powers decided on what a president has, that these will further instability and conflict in Libya.
Okay, thank you. Malik Traina is our Libya correspondent.